bring nobody here that's already here. Black folks has already been here.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, and we gonna show you that we got brought here. Read what you got. Even when they put the history right in front of your face, you sit in confusion, saying, "No, I was already here." But no, we gonna show you based upon the Bible, you were brought here on those slave ships. Give me verse 68.
Pressure make them fall like a crumbling wall. Pressure make them fall like they lost it all. Pressure to these guys, pressure to them all.
Was on point. Hey, bro, what's your name?
I'm gonna get going.
Is that John?
Yeah.
All right, John. So we were just discussing over there is whether or not Christ is black according to scriptures, right? All right, so give me Revelation 1:14. Because it's one thing to be in our mind and be like, yeah, I know Christ is black, but what have we been shown our whole life? Which image have we been shown our whole life? This image right here. So what tends to be the thing is even though some of us say we know Christ is black, we never be able to point it out where it says it in the actual scriptures, right? And that's a big thing because you'll be teaching your kids and you'll ask you, how do you know Christ is black, right?
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants.
So what does it mean, revelation? What's the real that word mean? So it's the root word is reveal. So he's saying he's about to reveal something about Christ. Jump down.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So it says his head, meaning the hairs on his head, and the beard, his hairs were white and woolly. Who has woolly hair walking around the earth today?
Caucasian.
Say it again?
Caucasian.
Caucasians got woolly hair?
Or black American.
Hold on. Now you said Caucasian got woolly. What texture is his hair?
Brown and black.
No, I mean the texture. So you know what a sheep is, right?
Yeah.
So you felt the sheep hair, right? Well, whose hair does the sheep match is closer to? Is it closer to his hair or yours? Sheep hair is closer to yours, right? So what you would call this is, what do you look more like a goat, right? So this is stringy hair. That's not woolly hair. What you got on your head is woolly hair. Read that.
His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So wool is the texture of a sheep's fur. That sounds like you get wool from a sheep, right? So it said like wool, read.
As white as snow.
Fully white, read.
And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
It said his eyes were as the flame of fire. Give me that in Genesis. Because, hey, sis, what's your name? Is that your name, bro?
Demetria.
Say Demetria. And your name, bro? Kamari. So, John, Demetria, and Kamari. So what we going over right now is the color of Christ. Do y'all know what color Christ is according to the Bible? Black. All right, all on your own point. But could you prove that if you had to? Could you go in the scriptures and show people that? Don't leave me now, John.
I can't go to the scriptures by name because I don't know the exact word, but I have read it.
Skin like burnt copper.
Yeah, skin like brass, copper,
brass,
eyes
copper, right.
of fire, and hair of wool.
So John, come on, man. Stick around. Let me finish this out, please.
Coming back, I gotta drop.
All right, yeah. All right, read that.
The book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 12.
Yeah, go back to Revelation 1. We keep up till John come back. Read.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So this is where you want to go. It said his head and his hairs were white like wool, meaning the hair on his head and the hairs on his face were white in color and woolly in texture. Who do we know on the earth has woolly hair?
Wool is just another term to say block or tangle.
Yeah, so it was like it's us that had that woolly hair. Because, I had to make sure because when I asked my brother John there, he said Caucasians have woolly hair. So, just trying to deal with them, like figure out like what the texture of the hair is, and like what do you get wool from? A sheep, right? And our hair is close in texture to theirs, right? So it shows that that's us. Read that again.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire.
So it said his eyes were as a flame of fire. Go ahead and read that in Genesis. We're going to show you what it means by his eyes were as flaming fire, because it wasn't saying that.
This is a made up fire or this a person?
You said, is this a made of fire? Is it a person? Oh, yeah, we can deal with this too. So this is depictions of what Esau and Jacob would look like if they were around today, right? So this is depictions of them. So Jacob being these tribes right here, and Esau was his twin brother. So that's the so-called white man. And I'm going to show you that too. We're going to finish up the image of Christ, and I'm going to show you this here. What your question is you got right there. Read that.
Genesis chapter 49 and verse 12. His eyes shall be red with wine.
So it said his eyes were red with wine. Now go ahead back. Because his eyes were red with wine because he drunk wine in moderation. That's why it says over in Genesis, his eyes would have to be like the flames of fire because he drunk wine in moderation. So his eyes were red. You know, when we drink the blood pure of the whites of your eyes turn red, right? Read.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
So his hair white and woolly in texture. Read.
As white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass.
It said his feet were like unto fine brass. What color is brass?
Like copper.
Like copper. So it's brown. So it said it was like unto fine brass, right? So let's see how deep that goes. Read.
As if they burned in a furnace. And
It said as if they what?
as if they burned in a furnace.
As if they burned in a furnace. If you burn something in a furnace, what color is it coming out? It's coming out black. Blackity black. It's going to be dark. So what is it? So right here we are finding out what? We're finding out that Christ was a very black man. He would have been considered a so-called Negro today, which is why when you even looked at this sign, you're like, what's going on with that sign, right? Let's figure out about this sign. Give me Genesis 25. But we understand now, right, where it is that we go to show Christ as a so-called black man, right? Yep, we're clear on that. Because in Revelation, we got that out of Revelation 1 and 14 to verse 15. So let's deal with this right here. So are you familiar with the history of Esau and Jacob at all?
Yes and no.
Yes and no? What are you familiar with as far as the two of these things?
They depicted them as looking like that. That's about it. So I'd really never like it.
Okay. You said they depicted them looking, both of them look like that? That they was both depicted as white men. Okay. So we're gonna start this. Now, when you read in Genesis, give me Genesis 2 and 7. Yeah, they describe Esau as that. So we gonna figure out how we know Jacob is a so-called black man. Read that in Genesis 2:7.
Genesis chapter 2 and verse 7. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground.
What's the color of the dust of the ground? Brown. And when you dig deeper in the ground, what does it do? Gets darker. There it is right there. And prior to this man being born, there was no other person on the earth that wasn't outside this image color. Give me that in Genesis 25. Read.
Genesis chapter 25 and verse 21. And Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren.
So Isaac is Jacob and Esau's father. So he entreated of the Lord because his wife was barren. Read.
And the Lord was entreated of him. And Rebekah his wife conceived. And their children.
So now she's able to give birth. Now she's conceived and she's going to be giving birth to. Read.
And the children struggled together within her. And she said, if it be so, why am I thus?
She's saying, since this is from God, if this be from him, and this is a blessing, why is there so much pains in this right now? Because the two children are fighting in her womb. These two children, they was fighting in a womb. Read.
And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb.
So God tells her, 2 nations are in thy womb. So what he's saying, that he's not saying it's a bunch of people in a womb. He's saying it's 2 manners of people. Meaning it's 2 different types of people in your womb. So that's what he's letting her know. Read.
And 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
And he's saying, well, like, with these 2, they can be separated from their bowels. Read.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
Now, when we examine us, our people, so-called blacks versus whites, who's stronger? We are, right? I mean, like, look at all the conditions we went through throughout history. Nobody else would have survived that thing. You got white people that when they businesses tank, they jump off buildings. They ain't gonna go through what we went through as a people. So read that.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
Now it said the elder shall serve the younger. Read.
And when her days to be fulfilled, and when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
Read.
And the first came out red.
Said the first came out red. So now we seeing this man right here. Because when we look at them, they not white. When we look at them, they what? You see they what do they call them down south? They call them rednecks. But it ain't just their neck only that's red. They whole face and body be. Because their blood is showing forth through their skin. Read.
All over, like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau.
And it said he was hairy all over like a garment. Why do you think the white man had to make the Gillette razor? They had to make that Gillette razor for themselves. It wasn't for you, because what typically happens when a so-called black man shaves their beard with Gillette razors and stuff? Razor bumps. That's what we get when we do that thing, because we was meant to keep our beards. But when you see them shave theirs, nothing don't happen. Right? That's how we know, that's how we identify them, because they are hairy people. Read.
And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel.
So, based on what we just read, he came out first. He came out afterwards. Now, there's always been a battle between the two, but it also stated that the younger would be over the elder, right? Now, when you look at our situation today, is that the case? So what happened? Conquered and divide? What'd you say, sis?
Manipulation.
Say that again?
Manipulation.
Manipulation. Yeah. But it goes further than that. Give me that Deuteronomy 28. Because I'm going to show you why it is we are in the conditions we're in today. Now we're seeing Christ is black. Jacob was a black man. And Christ came from the people that came out of him, the children of Israel. That's why we said, where do you see something on this sign? So you got Judah up here. These would be the tribes, 12 tribes right here. Off to the side is the name that God gave us. Off to this side is the name that we were, when we were conquered, what we were given. So where do you see yourself on that? Tribe of Judah? That's yourself, bro? Tribe of Judah? All right. So I'm going to show you why it is, what happened, that this man is over us now. Why it is that the elder, when it initially said the younger shall be over the elder, why it is the way it is right now. Read what you got.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Lord thy God.
What does it mean to hearken? Listen. Yeah. So he said it'll come to pass, meaning this is a future thing that's going to happen. If we didn't listen, read.
To the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments.
If we didn't listen to God to observe and do, meaning we're going to read them and then we're going to apply what they said, what's going to happen?
To do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So, in the book of Deuteronomy, which we're going to read here in chapter 28, it's 1 through 14 are a list of blessings that would come upon the children of Israel had they listened. And then 15 through 68 are all the curses that would come upon us if we didn't listen. And what I'm letting you know right now is, since this verse is letting you know we didn't listen. Read what you got.
Verse 16, cursed shall thou be in the city.
It said, cursed shall you be in the city. Now when you examine so-called blacks Hispanics and Native Americans, where are we normally? In the city, but what parts of the city?
Raggedy parts of the city.
The raggedy parts of the city, right? The hoods, the ghettos, the so-called urban communities, right? We in the rough spots where you see devastation as far as drugs. You'll see trash everywhere. Cause you go to white neighborhoods, do you see trash everywhere? Nah. So that's letting you know we're cursed in the city because we don't police ourselves. We don't run our school systems. None of that, right? Read.
And cursed shall thou be in the field.
It said, "Cursed shall ye be in the field." Now, we all can name a time where we was cursed in the field, right? Yeah, that's what this was right here. That's what this was right here. We were cursed in the field. They took us here on slave ships, and they made us work in their cotton fields. That's what happened, right? For the ones that weren't here already. Now, dealing with that, those are our people. But typically, they shipped them off to Spain. But now, when you dealing with this particularly, we're gonna show that you are the children of Israel according to the Bible, based on these types of things that happen. Hey, bro.
I want to say this. You can't bring nobody here that's already here. Black folks has already been here.
Yeah, and we're gonna show you that we got brought here. Read what you got.
Verse 68. And the Lord.
Hold on, no. Give me verse 45. So, don't be distracting them, brother. They learn.
No.
So we teach.
They up front, like Indians. They say Indians, oh, the pilgrims. No. They came and
So
seen
y'all
us
following
here.
everything we gonna do right so far, right?
All right, I just want
So
to
I'm
say that. They seen us
showing you
here.
that the so-called
They
black
were scared
Hispanics and
when
Native
they seen
Americans
us.
are the children of Israel according to the Bible. And how it is we ended up in the conditions we are in and how we got over here. Read that.
Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and shall overtake thee.
Now, it said the curse is going to pursue you. So no matter where you go, these conditions are going to follow you, right? Read.
Till thou be destroyed.
It said, till you be destroyed. Now, as a people, would you say we're destroyed? Yeah, we're destroyed. Because we have no connection to anything that we had in the past, right? We can't go back further than 400 years. Which is why we end up stating stuff like, no, we were always here. Because you can't trace back far enough to even realize, no, you was brought here on those slave ships. Even when they put the history right in front of your face, you sit in confusion, saying, no, I was already here. But no, we're going to show you, based upon the Bible, you were brought here on those slave ships. Give me verse 68.
Verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So he said he's going to bring you into Egypt again with ships. Now, we're going to show that the word Egypt is something very specific. You got what I want? Read.
Shalom, Israel. This is Bishop Nathaniel. I want you to know that you can view all our Sabbath classes live on IUIC TV. That's right, I said on IUIC TV. Download the app today.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
He said he brought us out of the land of Egypt, read.
Out of the house of bondage.
But what did it call Egypt right after that? Yeah, what did he call Egypt just now? Read.
I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
What did he call? So what's another word for bondage? Imprisonment, or what do we call this? Slavery. So he said, I brought you out of a land of slavery. Go back to Deuteronomy, read.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
So he said, the Lord gonna bring you into Egypt again. This time, say what?
With ships.
It said he gonna bring you into slavery again with ships. Now, when we first initially was brought over to Egypt, we walked into that land. We weren't initially slaves there. So, it's telling you, it's giving you a future prophecy of what's going to happen. What's your name, sis? Kiera? Kiera? How about you, sis? What's your name? Delisa. So, what we going over here is we showing that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the children of Israel. And right now, I'm showing you how it is we got over to this land and that it's proven in the Bible that history is real. Because some of us are confused out here saying that we've always been here. But no, we're showing according to the Bible that the history's in here saying that you would come over here on slave ships. Start that over again.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Now we just read what Egypt meant. Since we just read what Egypt meant. Egypt means bondage, and another word is synonymous with is slavery, right? So it said he gonna bring us into Egypt again, and he said, how you gonna do it?
With ships.
So how did we get over to this land? We got over here with ships. Did not this happen? Did not this happen in the so-called blacks? We got over here by slave ships. And in the Bible, it just said he gonna bring us into slavery again with ships. Y'all understand? Y'all seeing it now? That our history is in the Bible? What you got, brother?
Hey, who's the native people you talking about? Native Americans. You said Native Americans and you stopped there. Who are they?
Who are the Native Americans?
Yeah, please explain.
You're gonna see them right over here on the sign. The Native Americans are the children of Israel.
That's right.
What nationality are they?
Your nationality is that you're an Israelite, bro.
Yeah.
That's what your nationality is. They're Israelites.
They're not Indians then, right?
Indian means slaves. It was a name thrown upon them by their slave master. Give me that, Deuteronomy 28:37. Give me that, Deuteronomy 28:37. Because now, we see that we were brought over here on ships, right? As a people, we know that, right? That's just flat out history. And now we getting out the Bible, which was written thousands upon thousands of years before it even happened. Read what you got.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 37. And thou shall become an astonishment.
It said, will become an astonishment. Astonishment is something shocking. So it's like when the nations look at us and they see our people, they like, man, dang, they be whoring out their women like that. They don't even marry their women. They just leaving themselves as baby mamas and baby daddies. They don't like building their community as a people. They shooting each other down. All these things. They looking at us astonished. No matter where you go, they look at you like that. Read.
A proverb and a byword.
It said a proverb. What's a proverb, sis?
Like in grammar.
Say, huh?
Like in grammar and stuff like that, like a noun, adjective.
Not that proverb. So for a proverb is a wise saying. That's what he's saying. He said we're gonna become a wise saying. Because when you examine, they say things like niggas love chicken, niggas love watermelon. They got sayings about you that they particularly made. All right. So y'all still following? All right. Read.
Among all the nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Read that again.
And thou shall become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword.
It said in a byword. Just dealing with what the brother was asking. Oh, no, who are the Native Americans? They're Israelites. I told him, look over the sign, you can see directly who they are. But he believed they're not our people because they were called Native Americans by their enslavers. The enslavers that came over here and started taking them over to the parts of Spain and such, when Columbus was doing that, they are the ones who deemed them Native Americans. But that's not what they were initially called. They were of the tribe of Israel. But it said you would become a byword. That's Native American. That's Negro. That's African American. That's black. That's Hispanic. That's what those things are. All bywords. They not who you are because you over here on this sign right here. You God's chosen people. Y'all understand that? All right. So, give me verse Is it 32 I want? Yep, read that. Because I'm going to show you some more of the curses. Because that in itself right there. Matter of fact, what's your last name, sis?
Roberts.
Roberts? Now, when you initially came over here, did you, when your people initially came over here, you think that was their last name?
Pretty sure what?
What? Because what did they do to us in slavery?
They gave us their last name.
And how did they do that? Because we all seen Roots, right? What they do to Kunta Kinte?
Gave them a name and made them stick with
They whipped that name into them, sis.
it. Yeah, I know.
That's how they got you to go by these bywords. Because you said your last name is Robert. Hey, that lets you know what plantation you came from. What you got, bro?
He gave the Bible to them.
They gave us the Bible too? You sure? Because they gave us the Bible, right? So, we just read Christ as a black man, right? So, did they ever teach us Christ as a black man? So, there's something wrong here. Because the Bible says Christ is a black man, but they taught you this image. So does it make sense that if I'm your enemy, and my objective is to break you, destroy you, and make sure you never rise back up again, would I ever allow information to get to you that would start to revive you? He said they couldn't read.
Yeah, they basically told you.
No. I don't want you to confuse it. The slave masters could indeed read, which is why they stopped you from reading. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
They tried to
So
Bible
they
as a weapon.
Yeah, so they told
But,
you.
hold on. They tried to use the Bible as a weapon.
Huh?
But that Bible wasn't originally meant for their hands, eyes, or nothing.
It what? Give me that. In Psalms, what I'm on? Psalms 50, verse 16? Yep. Let's get that. I'm glad the sister said that. It was never meant for their hands.
My grandma
That's what.
told me when I was a kid that Jesus was black. She said all you gotta do is go to the Bible and tell you right there.
Yep. And now, you can pull it up for your kids when you need it. Because you got the scripture now. And you can show that. And what that does is that brings a sense of dignity back to our people. Because the reason why we gun each other down and don't show love to each other is because it's really self-hatred. Hey, what's your name, bro? Yeah. Say Tori? All right, bro. So what we going over is we about to show, because our brother, you know, he believes that the Bible was a weapon for the white man, that they used it, right? And that it's not ours. But read that.
Psalms chapter 50 and verse 16. But unto the wicked, God saith, what hast thou to do to
It said unto the wicked. I want to get who the wicked is so we clear. Give me that. So we going to find out who the wicked is. Because it's a very specific people. Because yeah, anybody can be wicked, but it said unto the wicked. So we going to figure out who this person is. Read.
Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given unto the hand of the wicked.
It said the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. Who running the earth right now? Say it again, sis. White people.
That's right.
It's clear to see. No matter where they go, they running the show. They got armies, they got army bases set up everywhere. They control world economics. It's clear who is the wicked, right? So now we right here and we about to show you what that is. Read.
Psalms chapter 50 and verse 16. But unto the wicked, God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant?
So, bruh, Bible right now saying, what hast thou to do? They God asking them, what have you to do with me? Because they took our Bible. That's right. They grabbed the hold of the Bible, but it's not their book.
That's right.
They stole our book, and then they read our book, and then they took certain pieces and not even really giving you context of what's going on in them to enslave your mind. Because it's your book, they knew you would follow. They had no doubt on how they would enslave you. That's why they set forth these things. Read that.
Or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth.
They manipulated us, telling us things like Christ is white. They said King Solomon white. I mean, like if you were to look up any of the men of the Bible right now on the internet, you're going to get a bunch of white images. But I can go through scriptures all day and show you black images. That the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the children of Israel. And that's without a shadow of a doubt. So, you understand that now, bro? It's like, because I don't want you to be thinking that this is a book they gave us. They in no way gave us this book. You still need more on that? Because
I'm looking at the other images. I can see where you're going with it. You know, I know that was a prince and that was his dad used him to model the photo of Jesus. I know all that.
yeah. So you know that that was a real man that lived, Cesar Borgia.
Yeah. And he was gay. Don't leave
Yeah.
that out.
The man who painted the image, Leonardo da Vinci, was the one that was his lover. Yeah. Well, read what you got.
Sin.
Slave Bible? Like, what Bible was they teaching us for slaves?
Yeah, they was teaching us out of a slave Bible. So they still had scriptures. It just only dealt with certain scriptures. And I was like, so they only dealt with, like, for example, they told you slave obey your masters, right? But did they give you any context of what that scripture was dealing with or anything like that? No, because the idea was to keep you docile unto them, so that you would continue. Like, so it made, because think about it, you got all these big black men on the field, right? They had to make a way in order to make sure you didn't rebel. There were rebellions that happened, but they never fully succeeded because they found ways to divide you. Whether it was by skin color, outside versus inside, meaning the field worker versus the house worker. They found ways to divide you through all these things, men and women, so that you would not work together. Even when you had people like, is it Nathan, Nat Turner, who went through and started to see it because he was able to read. They taught him to read. But their issue was they gave him a Bible and left him alone with it. So he started seeing through scriptures. Oh, nah, we these people. This is us is talking about. And that's what I'm showing y'all, is that this happened, and the Bible speaks 100% on it. It tells you about who you are. It gives you your history according to it, and the things we need to do in order to get up out of the conditions we in. What you got for me? Read that.
Sin, thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee.
Because they hate instructions, and they cast God's words behind them. I mean, like, how many of our brothers getting gunned down by policemen? Or even just regular white folk walking around getting hung by them, and no justice is happening.
That's right.
A lot of people get killed by the slave hunters, man.
That's right.
But that's what I'm saying. What did that just say right there? Read that again.
Sin, thou hatest instruction, and castest my words behind thee.
God said, if you kill a man, that you're supposed to be killed, right? That there's supposed to be some form of justice right there, right? But are they putting these men behind prison? No. God said, if you steal a man, it's supposed to be a judgment behind that. What did they do to us when they brought us over here? They what? They stole us. That's how we know we are those people. But they don't listen to the instructions of the Bible. So the book ain't theirs, because they don't follow not one word that's in it. They don't care about the information in the Bible. The only thing they needed the Bible for is to understand how it was to make you docile and to sell like in when their time of end is coming up. Because their end is coming up. Give me that in Revelation 13. Because we just said they stole us, right? They brought us over to this land. They enslaved us. They killed us. Let's see what God said about that. Read what you got.
Revelation chapter 13 and verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall...
So it said, if any man have an ear, let him hear. And it said, he that leadeth into captivity. What's captivity? Yeah, the slavery. That's what they put us in, right? Right, Tony? Read that.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
It said, for them putting us into captivity, they are going to go into captivity. Now, if this is their book, would you leave that in there?
No.
I certainly wouldn't leave that in there.
That's right.
Because I stole you.
That's right.
I convinced you that Christ is a white man.
That's why they acting on knowledge. They know that their time is almost.
They know that they time coming up, sis.
Matthew 26.
They know that this is coming to an end. They know that their kingdom is coming to an end. Keep reading.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
How many bodies of black people are in the ocean? How many bodies of black people are under these grounds, the Native Americans under these grounds right now due to wars that they started and just slaughtered people? It said they gonna what?
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
They will be killed with the sword. That's according to God, because that's justice that's gonna happen. Now, if I'm the enemy, there's no way I would leave this book to be as it is right now. I would have, like, if this was their book, I wouldn't have left that in there. None of that information would be in there. Why would I let you know that you God's chosen people? Why would I let you know that Christ is a black man, when that is the most famous man all around the world, right? For his walks and what he did in, I'm saying he you? No. He ain't you, he me. That's why they gave you that image. So you can look at them and be like, oh, that's Jesus right there. There's a saying, what is that over in Ghana? A saying that, if you go to church on Sunday, that if you see a white man, you seen Jesus, you can go home. That's how broken we are as a people.
Across the earth, the prophets move. From city streets to distant lands, the message is the same. Israel must rise. Through every quest, every journey, the truth spreads. No border can contain it. No distance can silence it. Our nation lives in every moment. In joy, we celebrate marriages. In sorrow, we honor our dead. On the Sabbath, we gather as one. Families rejoicing together, bound by the commandments of God. Yet are we tried. From the stones in Kenya to the hatred in Montana, we endure as a soldier of the Lord. And still, the mission expands. On the airwaves, on the screens, in every nation under heaven, Israel's voice is heard. We build our communities. We raise our children in royalty. We restore what was broken. We clean what was defiled. We show the world who we are. This is Israel united in Christ. Nation in motion. Nation endures.